Hello everybody and welcome to another F1 Manager 24 video. Oh, I messed up the intro. Anyway, in today's video we are coming back after Baku, going into Imola. We've had two upgrades for this race, namely I believe it is the side pods, which are now spec free, and underfloor, which is spec free. So we have a lot to learn, two new car parts, and George Russell managed to get the win last time out, beating Perez by literally about a second, which means Perez is 20 points off, but if you look, and Verstappen is 48 points off, but if you look, Russell's mentality is worse than Perez's, so maybe this is a turning point, because we just had an email saying that engineer tension might change, so I've gone, Mark and George affinity is down, George's mentality is down, but his aggression is up. So, yeah, let's head in to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I'm going to go with just the highest one again. Maybe it'll bite me in the bum, but oh well. Into the race weekend.
Welcome along to Italy, and welcome along to Imola. After returning to the Formula One calendar in 2020, Imola is now home to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. This historic track's original outline might remain, but updates to the circuit ensure that racing here feels just as exciting in modern times. How will the British driver George Russell fare this weekend? He was sensational in the last race, he took home the win and set the bar very high indeed. Stay with us then as the weekend gets underway.
So that is FP1 done, and the order is as follows: Sonoda, Victor Martins, Bray, Porcher, Miata, Logan Sargent, Ocon, Antonelli, Zhou and Sainz. Interesting to see both Williams in there, both Mercedes in there, and a Haas in there. Nice. So FP2 final order is as follows: Verstappen, Alonso, Albon in third. Bloody hell, he's high up. Sonoda, Leclerc, Norris, Gasly high up, nice. Lawson also in the top 8, which is nice. Piastri and Ocon again in the top 10. So that is the end of FP3, and with some very quick laps at the end from us, we managed to top the times for Perez and be P6 for George, but the final order was Perez, Alonso, Piastri, Ricciardo up there, really nice to see. Verstappen, Russell, Hadjar, Leclerc, Sainz and Antonelli. So Mercedes look quick, Williams look quick, Aston Martin look quick, and the usual Red Bull, us, McLaren look quick, and Ferrari. So it's going to be an interesting one. 98 drivers preparation for both drivers. Let's head in to qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out if all that practice will pay off for the drivers.
Qualifying at Imola can be a tricky, red flag-strewn affair. Teams need to prioritize getting a banker lap in, rather than risk leaving it too late and having to settle for a subpar time.
Esteban Ocon there, Karun. What's the feeling around him at the moment?
It's interesting because they weren't that fast in practice. I'm not sure if this was a lack of pace or just the team trying different things, but I imagine we'll see their true performance soon enough.
And you're right. Well, it's nearly time for qualifying.
So now starting our first flying lap in Q1, sorry, not in Q3 just yet. I forgot to change engines, but that's fine. We used our race engines in practice 3 just to try and get the car parts knowledge as high as it can be. So I think they're a little down on track acclimatization and a little bit down on the car parts knowledge, but other than that they're fine. Perez does a 22.7 in first sector, George does a 22.7. There is 1,000th between them. Perez in the second sector does a 24.2. Russell is going to get blocked maybe, no he doesn't, and he does a 24.4. So Perez is now 2 tenths above him. 1:11.8 is the target time, and he smashes that with a 1:11.3 dead. Russell is going to do I think it was a 1:11.2, sorry, a 1:11.5.
Could be.
Right? No, 4:18, 1:11.418. Right. P3 and P7 in Q1. And knocked out in this session was Antonelli. That is a big shock. We nearly lost... If Antonelli was 7 thousandths quicker, we would have lost Charles Leclerc this session. But Antonelli, Bortoletto, Hulkenberg, Ricardo, Bottas and Doohan are all knocked out in Q1. Let's head in to Q2. So, starting our first flying lap in Q2, hopefully our only flying lap needed in Q2. Drivers have got a fair bit of space between them. I think that's what, about 10 seconds between them. So there is a fair old gap, I believe. Both Red Bulls have come out, yeah, to try and block us. It's the top two teams in the championship that are the only ones out on track at the minute. 22.6 in the first sector, 22.7 in the first sector for George. Is this Red Bull going to get out of the way? He does, just about. And Perez does a 24.4. And Russell does a 24.5. So Russell's about 3 tenths down on Perez's lap time. Perez is going to come up towards the line and do a 1:11.299. So it's 1,000 quicker than his time in Q1. And Russell goes half a second slower than that. I think Russell might need to go again, in all honesty. Russell is going out for a second lap in Q2. Maybe this is a mistake not sending Perez out, because Sainz went P1, Verstappen then went above him, and Leclerc's now gone above him. Maybe we've made a mistake here. Alonso could definitely beat Russell, and so could Albon potentially, and so could Sargent and Gasly potentially, so we've had to go out. But I didn't realise how tight this was. 22.7 in the first sector for George Russell. Charles Leclerc gets nice and neat out the way. Russell does a 24.4 in second sector. In fairness, Hadjar's just gone above Perez as well, so I'm starting to get a little worried. Norris hasn't improved, Tsunoda hasn't improved, Behrman and Alonso can't improve. Russell goes up to P8 only. Wow. Behrman's gone up there. Lawson, I think, has improved to the same time as Perez. It's Albon on a lap. Albon is on a lap, goes P11. Ocon and Sargent aren't on one, and I don't believe Hadjar is either, so Tsunoda just about scrapes through. But the final order in Q2 was Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Hadjar, Perez, Lawson, Norris, Piastri, Russell, Tsunoda, Albon, Behrman, Gasly, Alonso, Ocon and Sargent. Albon, Behrman, Gasly, Alonso, Ocon, Sargent are the ones all knocked out. And Russell didn't manage to go any quicker than Perez when Perez was on warm. So George Russell starts his first flying lap in Q3 on a scrub set of soft tyres. Perez is out on a fresh set. George is out on the scrub. Only 5 people choosing to go out right now. And both V-Carbs made it into Q3 for the first time ever, I do believe. But that is because Antonelli was out. Alonso's out. And I want to say there are a couple of others in there. Both Red Bulls, 1 Ferrari, 2 McLarens, 2 us. There's another another Mercedes. Sargent is out. George Russell has gone purple so far. 22.6 and 24.4. 22.6 as well for Perez. So George has finally found his pace. 11.5 for Russell. Still not very good that, but he is on scrubs, so that's much better. Perez has gone purple. Norris is 3 tenths off. Max is a 10.5 off Russell. And Perez takes P1 by a 10.5.
Stay negative on the dash.
Sergio Perez is the first one of these two to go out at the minute. Max Verstappen has gone and beaten our time by half a second. It was very close. I think Tsunoda was 15 hundredths behind us, or 4 thousandths behind us, and Charles Leclerc was about 15 thousandths behind us. There's a Ferrari moving nice and neatly out the way. Is he going to move nice and neatly out the way of George Russell? I hope so. Perez does a 22.6, and no, he blocks George Russell quite heavily. So that is Russell's second lap over in Q3, all thanks to Charles Leclerc. And he's now going to keep that position. So it's a 24.2 for Perez, that's much better in the second sector. Tsunoda has now gone in front of Perez. And Russell done a 24.5, yeah, so his lap's basically over. Perez goes back up to P2, and Russell stays P6, down to P7 now, yikes. No, so neither of these are on a lap, so it'll be P2 and P7 for us on the grid. So it is, the Q3 order is Verstappen, Perez, Norris, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Piastri, Russell, Sainz, Lawson and Hadjar. I mean, Leclerc's been out the last 2 Grand Prix, so he's hoping that he DNFs again. But a 418 would have put him 1 place higher. So, yeah. That's a shame, but it is what it is. But Russell's really off the pace this weekend.
Not long until we get going here in Italy, with 63 laps of hard-fought motor racing.
Imola can really reward consistency, as Nigel Mansell showed here in 1992 when he became the first driver to ever win the opening 5 Grand Prix of a season.
Imola has no fewer than 4 chicanes, with the Variantes putting a slow-speed corner into every sector around this historic circuit. It's a high downforce track with sharp turns breaking up the straights. It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Rightio. This is not what's going to happen. What we're going to do is... right, hang on a minute. Aggro. Okay, maybe we do... Alright. 19 and 38, medium, hard. And then George Russell can go. And this can go to a hard. P. And then he can go to about there. Then go to about there. Yeah, that's cool. Just go full push off the start. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this race. It should be a good one.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. The calm composure of Sergio Perez amongst the hustle and bustle of the grid.
A second place start for them today. They'll be aiming for a podium, but could they even sneak the win?
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? This is it, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away
I think
we
where
go.
Georgia's qualified is our lowest qualifying position of the season, but there's Perez straight up into P1. What tyres have everyone gone for? Mediums, except for Russell, Lawson, Ocon and Bottas who have all gone hards, and Doohan's gone softs. Alpine really splitting their strategy. Just hang on to these guys anyway. Leclerc seems to have some sort of damage, but Perez has just been overtaken by Piastri as well. Let's just run. Oh, Russell is going to go down the inside of Charles Leclerc. That is a move we really need. He's got damage. Don't quite go for Norris yet, I would say. Get him here. Perez, down the inside. Lovely, chubbly, nice little move. Russell can conserve as well. Oh. Sergio Perez back up to P2. What's going on here? There's a Red Bull, a couple of McLarens. Perez has got the lead. Russell can't make a manoeuvre at this point, unfortunately. Big pressure. No, I didn't do that. Yes, Russell down the inside. Go on, get Verstappen. Yes. Season. Is that right? 4 plus 2 plus 1, yeah, 8 races this will be into the season. And Norris is now the one in front out of those two. I'm actually going to try and run away. Verstappen fastest lap. Russell down to P4. Let's just chill on the tyre temps then. Try and see if you can run anyway. Nice. Well, Ross Perez has been overtaken by Verstappen, and Verstappen's going to get the DRS as well. It's not what we needed. Russell's down to P4. Pit stop lap 19. So 9 laps. Verstappen keeps finding a way of making us get him there. Piastri's just done a fucking runner. What? Alright. Whatever floats your boat, mate. VSC. Okay, that helps with tyres massively. If this will cause anyone to pit, I'm staying out. I'm keeping to the strap. It's Jack doing and a kick in front of him. And he just kicks the kick out the way. It's not ideal. Let's attack just to see if we can try and get Verstappen out. Doohan's been given a 5-second penalty. And Verstappen is now here, so there was no chance we were getting him out. Oh, there we go, in front of one of the McLarens. She's a bit of battery because we can, and it's there. Perez, optimal pit stop lap. I'm going to keep him out, I reckon, 2 more. There's 29 seconds, really ain't a good pit window. Verstappen is going to get Perez here, and Verstappen may even run away, but that's fine. So into the pits comes Sergio Perez. I don't know why it starts the pit thing so early. Not many others are coming in, but let's fit. Piastri overtakes Russell. 2.5 second stop. Hadjar comes in. Oh, we're going to be out in a mess, aren't we? Apart from those 2 cars there, that isn't horrific. Let's go around the outside of... Is that Albon? Oh, yep. Come on. Yes, nice. Keep fuel down. And then there we go above Ocon. And if we get Sargent into this corner here, which we don't, but we will get him when we use the RS. Or DRS, should I say. There we go in front of Sargent. And Piastri and Tsunoda come in. Piastri, hards. Tsunoda, hards. Alonso comes in for hards, so a lot of these are doing a 1-stop. Verstappen comes in. So he should be around about Tsunoda, Ricciardo, that sort of thing. Sainz comes in. Russell is on his in-lap now, I believe. Yes. Verstappen is 7 seconds behind Perez. In comes George Russell on lap 29. .4 stop. Okay, behind all of them, but in front of Piastri, that is good. Crashed? Oh no. It's doing so well. Oh, don't be a big one. Just goes off a little bit. Oh, that's a big one. Go on, go get Tsunoda on those hards. Yes, that's a crucial move. Down the inside, George off. Go, round Ocon. Need to go around him. Go chase after Leclerc. So it's going to be a feisty second half of this race. So in fact, we just need to go. We need to run. 29. So that's not too bad. In fact, if we hold him up, that's great. Does he get DRS? Yeah, he does. That's a bit annoying. But Perez comes into the pits for a set of hard compound tyres. 2.2 second pit stop. That's much better. Piastri sets fast up and he is closing in on Leclerc and Russell. That wasn't part of the plan. But yeah, just behind Norris is Perez. Past Norris there. Yes, solidifying the pass before we even have DRS. But into the pits comes George Russell. 2.4 second stop. Okay. That's nowhere near as bad as what I thought it would be. Out in P9. Really, really not bad. I'm not disappointed with that at all. Sonoda's off. That makes life so much easier. Yep, there went Sonoda. Through went Perez. I'm going to try and get a screenshot of that. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, here's a McLaren. Hello. Wow. Hello, goodbye. Russell sets fastest lap. So he's now right up against Norris. Makes Norris, how did that happen? Down into the chicane, I forget what it's called. Again, push.
We need to reduce K1 usage.
Faster. Nice. Alright, well next lap's last lap, so I don't mind waiting for the DRS section then, or going now. Wow. Oh my god, it's Leclerc. The lap car went down the inside and they hit. Oh no, Behrman versus the Ferrari Academy. Verstappen crosses the line to take his first race win. Alonso's going to get P2 after being knocked out in Q2, so fair play to him. We are going to get P3 as we cross the line. Leclerc's going to get P4 after a double two DNFs in a row. And Russell is going to get P5. Wasn't too far from getting Russell wasn't too far from getting Leclerc, but considering that race was awful, that's been our worst race of the season. Considering it's P3 and P5 still, that's not bad.
Not a quick race to sum up, not least for George Russell there.
A 5th place finish ensures they're taking away a fair few points from this one.
And onto the podium goes Sergio Perez, and he's certainly in good company there.
After 7 podiums, it doesn't seem like it's getting old for them, but they've worked hard for it.
Well, Formula One certainly feels at home in Italy, and it looks like those three feel right at home too. Well, Kareem, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
They'll certainly be pleased to have made the podium. A job well done for sure.
And that's about it for our time here in Imola.
We now look ahead to the next round in Monza in Italy. The Temple of Speed is waiting and the teams will be ready and raring to go.
But yeah, the final race results being Verstappen takes his first win of the season, then Alonso, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Norris, Piastri, Lawson, Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo from 20th to P10. Really, really nice race from him. Carlos Sainz takes the fast lap in the end, jeez. But yeah, 158 points for George, which means he's 33 points in front of Verstappen. Tsunoda, I'd say, is probably out of the title fight now. So it's just Verstappen, Perez and Russell. Red Bull actually gained 2 points on us in the drivers. We have broken 300 points just as they've broken 200. Ferrari overtake McLaren after it being the other way around last weekend. We get 4th in the pit stop with Perez's 2.2, and that gains us 12 points, which maintains everybody, keeps everybody behind at bay. And we close in on McLaren, but McLaren had a pretty dog poo weekend. Yeah, only 23 thousandths off the best pit stop, and it was the 4th best pit stop only. Sponsor plan. Let's just... But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Unfortunately, this is where the stream is going to end. and the video is going to end. But if you have enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you next time for some more F1 Manager. Goodbye for now.